close your eyes and relax completely. Now take 3 deep breaths in and out. Imagine a large blooming spring garden. The garden is ancient and filled with many colorful and outlandish plants. The garden is very beautiful, but the paths are overgrown. The bushes are not cut, and some trees froze in winter and stopped blooming. It seems that no one has set foot in this garden for a long time. The task at hand is to take care of the garden, which is now yours. Rake the leaves. Make paths. Remove the dried branches and faded flowers. Take the tools you need to work with in the garden. There are light rakes, bags, and garden shears. Dry branches block the light from the living plants. They need to be cut out. Take your garden shears and get to work. The paths are overgrown with weeds, and it gets disorienting to walk around, since the paths are almost invisible. Pull all the weeds out and put everything in bags so that you can take the unnecessary garbage out of the garden later. The garden now belongs to you, and your goal is to take care of it so that it becomes beautiful and cozy again, so that you can admire the view of the plants again. You have now decided to introduce new plants in order to freshen up the garden. But you need to be careful and make sure that there is enough space for the old and the new. Each growth should be comfortable and free so that it can delight you with its beauty. See how beautiful the garden is now. It looks so much grander, fresher, and brighter. Flowers, green leaves, and neat paths are everywhere. Of course, visually, the garden looks great, but just listen to what magic sounds it makes. The murmur of a stream, the singing of birds, the buzzing of insects, the sound of a waterfall. Together, the many sounds make up the melody of the garden. This very melody fills the garden with the peace and tranquility of nature. Every individual sound in this melody helps you relax and focus. You begin to feel a slight, inexplicable joy. You become more attentive and sensitive, and you begin to notice whiffs of pleasant smells. And every corner here is filled with smells. It all starts with the fresh scent being exuded by a tall pine tree. Then you catch the bright and pungent scent of lilac, of fresh grass and jasmine. Suddenly you notice that there is smoke in the air. Nearby, someone lit a fire in order to cook some food. What could they be cooking? What would you like to cook on the fire? Will there be dessert? What kind of dessert would you like? You become curious and decide to walk over to this wonderful place. Upon arriving by the fire, you find a long table covered from end to end with your favorite dishes. You are enveloped by familiar, delicious smells that whet your appetite even more. What bliss! Another joy discovered today. Sit on a tree stump next to the table and enjoy the food laid out for you on the table. Birds and butterflies are flying around, and a curious little beetle is crawling along the leg of the table. The air around is filled with freshness and the aromas you already know. You feel a surge of strength and the most pleasant feelings. You are happy. Now, when you are full and get up from the table, you find that all this time you have been in front of a mountain. Clouds of various shapes float across the bright blue sky, periodically blocking the sunlight slightly, but soon moving out of its path and making the garden even brighter and your mood even better. You can still hear the bird song, and against the sound of the brook, you begin to distinguish the surge of waves. You begin to feel your body becoming light and weightless. Your muscles relax, and your lungs fill with air like a balloon. You ascend into the sky and soar over your garden and the mountain, which is illuminated by the light of the sun. You feel the pleasant sensation of freedom, of the softness and warmth of the clouds, of relaxation. Your eyes rest on the sight of green grass and the garden teeming with life. The air is gentle, soothing, and pleasantly cool. You can spend as much time here as you'd like. After all, the garden is grateful to you for the work you've done. You know, no matter what happens, you can always go back. This garden is now always blooming in your imagination. Take a deep breath, exhale, and open your eyes.